What up, everybody? This is Dom Root, and this is the Culture Convos podcast. This is March 1st, 2022, and we're finally back with a new episode. I know it's been a minute, but just adjusting and kind of figuring out how I want to go about it. But as you know, the Culture Convos podcast is essentially my way of connecting with some of the homies and new people that I meet to learn about their industries and the culture surrounding it, the ins and outs, the battles that they face. And we kind of talk about the similarities and the things that I do, the things that they do, and all of that good old stuff. So this episode, we don't have any guests. It's just myself and just be filling you in on my art. As you know, last year I was working with the Arts Commission of Arizona, and they gave me a grant to kind of do some personal development stuff. So I worked on my website, which will be domroot.world, and essentially on there, it'll be my portfolio, so you can check out some of my music, some of my photography, and some of my art, along with some cool designs. So I worked with uh, Andrew Zoer, who's an artist created from out here, and also Jazz Gold Media for some of the photography and videography work. So definitely looking forward to that release and hoping that people enjoy it and get to learn a little bit about me. And I will just kind of kick off my little journey in terms of the things that I want to release and kind of the aesthetic that I want to go forward with. And even in that process, man, I learned a lot. I worked with B Hunt and Melissa Zesk and or Zaysk. I'm probably pronouncing that horrible. So if you listen to this, man, I'm sorry, but Melissa, she was helpful in this process, and a few other cats, just kind of just talking about branding and apparel and my approach to creating content and little tips and tricks for navigating, like bringing together a whole art piece in terms of who I am and how I embody it and how I present it. So yeah, that's coming out this month, and I definitely hope people enjoy it. Other than that, we are in the works. Finally, since 2019, we've been working on the Root Conference. I want to say in 2020, we got approval from the city of Tempe via a grant, artist development grant type of thing as well, and we are able to fund part of the conference using that grant. So we'll be in the city of Tempe April 23rd at the Moxie, and it's going to feature workshops, presentations, panel discussions, a little bit of entertainment, some snacks. Pretty much gonna be like a 6 hour day. We're gonna really try to get into it and find innovative ways to connect entrepreneurs, artists, and even people in the education space, scholars, and so on. So, really, for me personally, I feel like we all, and when I say we, I'm talking about the artists, the entrepreneurs, and the scholars or the educators. We all kind of are in a similar space in terms of the worlds that we live in, the people that we're trying to impact. We're trying to impart wisdom. We're trying to share perspective. We're trying to educate. We're trying to tell stories. We're trying to help other people navigate their spaces. So, in a way, we have similar battles, and I feel like bringing these different types of people into the same room and hashing out these conversations or sharing different perspectives on things can definitely shed light on how we can navigate our shared spaces better. There are certain places that we have commonalities. Obviously, there's places that we have differences, but we want to figure out how staying rooted as things grow and transcend and change, and this digital age becomes a little more crazier. We want to find ways that we can, continue to stick together, work together, and kind of build legacy for the future. So that'll be the group conference coming in April. The plan is to do that annually, do it bigger and better each year. So there are no tickets. It'll be a free event. Just got to register at ironrootco.com. And we are looking for donations or any kind of support, just to kind of kick things off and, make it more successful and, impactful. The thing is, for us is we want to transition our brand into a space of knowledge sharing and, just kind of find new ways to stand out and, between our poetry contests and, like the love events and honestly, this workshop will be in person. It's crazy that we haven't done an in-person event since February 2020. So this will be the first, and we'll eventually start to phase in, the new series of types of things that we want to put on and be a part of. Just because we're growing, we've been in the city doing things for a while, so we do want to transition and find new ways to impact people, the poetry contest, and just us being able to offer cash prizes along with our en route merch has allowed us to reach a lot more people. Maybe the cash is a big incentive, but it's still pushing writers and emerging writers, talented. I'm sorry, not talented. They're all probably talented in their own right, but emerging writers and seasoned writers, veteran writers to submit things, just for the sport and just for getting better. So we want to keep pushing the envelope and finding ways to get people to challenge themselves, step out of their comfort zone, try new things, and push themselves to do better. And the poetry contest has been a big help in doing that. The conference is going to be a next step, so we can get people out and starting to have those conversations and building those relationships. And we've been doing our online creative writing workshops, and we'll be doing some work with Compton College as well, doing some workshops in that space. So really excited for the future of the Iron Root brand and how we're going to connect with creatives and find new opportunities to share knowledge and allow other people the platform to really do their thing and find their light. That's kind of who we've been and what we're going to continue to do. So that's as much as I want to update and share on that. Just stay on the lookout, and we definitely appreciate the support in terms of that. It's been a long time coming, and we definitely have big plans for how we want to shape up, our aesthetic or our branding, and what we want to, our legacy. Honestly, kind of the things that we're gonna be known for in the future. So yeah, as I wrap up, pretty much what I want to share here, I do want to leave on one last note, which is as we go about our life and make these decisions as creatives, as business people, as educators or scholars or whatever. Um, just keep in mind that it's important to chase the things that you're passionate about, or be willing to learn the process for certain things. And I know it's kind of broad and vague, but like, for example, if you're an artist, you don't have to chase trends of creating certain types of things because everybody else is doing it, um, just to prevent yourself from dealing with unnecessary stress or anxiety because you start to chase trends and expectation for likes, or if with the expectation of getting a lot of money, or having people like you or want to service your product, or whatever you have going on. But when you're doing things from a genuine space, if you like just are just trying something new because you want to try it, and your expectation isn't to make $1 million, then the stress should be low. But if your expectation is to make $1 million, then you should want to put in the work necessary to make that $1 million by doing that thing. You got to know the ins and outs, the best time to do that thing, what I'm saying? The best people that do that thing that you want to do, and kind of learn from those people. You can't just watch a YouTube video. Some things you can, but like for the things that, essentially you want to make a lot of money for, you want a lot of notoriety for, you have to put in the work, what I'm saying? Or you have to be passionate about it enough to want to do the work, what I'm saying? But the work has to be done at some point. And, you know, maybe this is coming from a space of just some recent conversations with people, but there, it is, a common thing where folks feel that, you know, because of how things are projected online or on social media or public perception and anxiety and social pressure around things, uh, people get pushed to do things they don't really want to do, or that they're not passionate about, but they think it's cool and that will get them notoriety, so they do it. And when it doesn't get them notoriety, it kind of impacts them mentally. And I guess that's the part I'm hindering on, man. Is just do shit that you really care about, do things that you're passionate about, and if you're gonna set some high expectations for it, make sure you put in the work necessary to deal with the outcome. Because if it's not great, you got to be willing to make the changes to make it better. But if it's not something that you're passionate about, or if it's not something that you even care about a little bit, then you probably aren't going to be willing to make those changes. And maybe you don't give a fuck and you'll be like, cool, man, it's whatever, like I failed, moving on. But some people get frustrated with themselves or their peers or the people helping them because they chasing something that they shouldn't be chasing. It's not giving them the result they want, and they're frustrated about it and not sure how to communicate it because they don't know what the fuck is going on. And I've fallen victim to that too, in the past and in my life, and I've learned from that. So I guess that's kind of why that's where I'm at in March of 2022 in terms of what I want to leave today on this podcast. Because when I woke up today, I didn't think I was going to be recording the podcast. episode, but that's what popped up. So I'm gonna leave it here so that I don't go too much over 10 minutes. But yeah, three spaces that I'm in right now is I'm practicing empathy, um, I'm pursuing passion, and I'm moving confidently. Those are my three things. I'm practicing empathy, I'm pursuing passion, and I'm moving confidently. So, find your three things, man, and let them drive you to the next quarter, and then figure out what you need for, you know, going into the second half of the year, and live by those. And if you feel a change, make that change.